We've got Sunday morning. Again, it seems to be I spend all my Sunday mornings on there. Now we've got Terry, and you used to work here in
1959.
1959. It was up to 1963 when you packed up, was it?
1960, well, between 62 and 63, yeah. Yep.
And if you were still here, Terry, this wouldn't have been built on. You'd have been.
It would not. No, if things had gone the way I thought they were going to go, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't be there because it would still be a farm.
What was this feeling? Was it just?
No. This we used to go crops in here. This and the field beyond it that went all the way down to where the to where the dam was. Yeah, this was always a hay meadow. This one. Farm track has not altered one little bit.
No.
This was always here. In fact, when we rebuilt the dam, I remember we had an old grey Fergie, and I remember hitching the cement mixer up to the old grey Fergie and carting it up here. Will Pickering driving, and I was stood on back at.
So it was a Pickering family, wasn't it?
It was a Pickering family, yeah. George, Will, Nora, and Mother.
When we used to lark on the other side, somebody in this field down here came down, and somebody was the farmer. So it must have been.
It would be George.
Pickering. But to this day, I swore Blandy had a gun. I think he had a shotgun.
I don't know. He was a strange guy because he was always dressed as a farmer you would recognise as a farmer. Yeah. He had like calf trousers on, spats down there, a waistcoat, and he always wore a trilby. Now we wore that every day of the week apart from a Sunday morning. And on a Sunday morning he used to get dressed up in all his finery, and he had a walking stick, and he used to walk from the farm to the bridge and then back again.
Might be his walking stick, but when you
might have been his walking stick.
When you're kids, like you just you see a farmer coming out waving thing, you think, yeah, he's got a shotgun.
I never remember him shooting at all.
No,
I never remember.
No, I don't think he would have done like. But I know he chased us off, but we weren't doing any harm. We were actually at the side of Beck. Let's have a walk down here because I'm having fun. I have got a load of footage of it because I said I've had a good walk around. That's a bit further down. There's a bit where it's all circular and concrete, which is probably some of your handiwork.
Absolutely. Because the old dam, of course, was built out of stone.
Yeah.
So there was a load of old stone, and we connected up with this. I mean, George he had this great idea. All that summer we spent shoveling concrete. And anyway, got it all done. And first flood of winter.
Once again.
Didn't think about putting reinforcing rods in or anything like that, just pure concrete. Nothing to pound.
There's some power in the water, so it's down there is the slopes. Right. There's the fence.
Hi, that's
the fence there, and the old sluice is just there. Look, you can just see the concrete.
Yeah, well, this is where we were. This is it.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this then?
Well, I walked around there, and then I walked down the Beck, which was a bit of a task, but you can get down here so far as well. Yeah, there's your handiwork there.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I don't know where this water's coming from. We've had no rain for about a month. Well, you can see there where there's been some sort of pipe at the bottom. That's where water was to come through as an overflow. We're on the back. I mean, you can't get on there without wellies. And I've got a picture of it. But at the back on there, there's a hole at the bottom, and I think the pressure of the water went up and along.
Well, it's certainly a good 20 feet deep, is that? And I remember that. I remember it. To me, this beck wasn't running then as much as it is now.
No, there's a lot more water about. You see, what I remember, we'd have come from down here, from the street down here, and a lot of these houses were still being built or not built properly. And I just remember the race coming down in steps.
Yeah, it did.
And then we were hacking them out trying to break things, so...
I think all that old rubble there is part rebuilt that on top of that.
Yeah.
We have planks across to concrete over.
You didn't use a level then?
Hey?
You didn't use the spirit level?
No. This is a quarried stone.
Yeah. There's bits there, look, bits of...
Yeah. it came right across to here, you know.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a structure.
Well, I would say all that down there, I mean you can't get in there, but there's masonry and all sorts down there.
Oh, there'll be quarried stone and all, yeah.
That'll have been like the waterfall part, the weir part.
Yeah.
Must have been.
I think now looking back, I think if I remember, this part of it here was deep, and I think there was a sluice gate on top of the waterfall, you can say, and that you could regulate what water you had in the other side of it.
Yeah.
In this end. And that end was used to feed the millworks.
Yeah. I think that pipe at the bottom is like it's like a siphon pipe.
Yeah.
It's at the bottom.
Pressure would have sent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Terry's going to have a look at the top of this old sluice gate in which he mixed the concrete for. Terry's handiwork, 1959-1960, even before the Beatles were famous. I mean that bit's done quite well, but the rest of it suffered. So what sort of guarantee did he give for this work then? Is it still valid? What?
Oh hell on. Yeah. Yeah, it's on a 50-year NHBC house guarantee.
Thing of all, you didn't sign it, did you?
Hey?
Did you sign it?
No, but I'll tell you what I did do. I mean, even bits like this, everything went in. It's a slave, you know. And I remember being a young lad, and we lived in Mayville Avenue. Just a bit further up Mayville Avenue, there was a family called the Ibbetsons.
Oh yeah.
And Alan Ibbetson was a builder, a bricklayer. And we used to knock about with him at the time. He was just about an apprentice, coming to the end of his apprenticeship. And he said, I was on about it, mixing concrete. And I said, if we throw stuff in, does it affect the strength of the concrete? Well, he said, depends what it was. And I remember throwing an old cigarette packet in.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that would bother it, but I remember this cigarette packet.
You got a bit of fancy work on here. You'll be careful you don't fall off there.
Oh, careful, careful, you need some scaffolding up there.
Now you can see this back side of it. They're down at the bottom. Yeah, I'll see it'll be a good 20 foot. I mean, you know, health and safety. Well, coming across here, because that dip was always there.
Yeah.
So coming across here on a couple of old planks was...
This is where the mill pond was in 1928. In 2020 the area has been dug out, ready for a new water storage tank that will serve the properties being built.
This hill was always here, it was always like this.
Yeah.
And then the ditch started somewhere about here, as I remember. And it was quite a deep pronounced ditch.
Yeah.
And it went all the way around to the farm, and as it approached the farm, just before it hit where the caravan site was, it more or less turned from almost being like a beck into a proper mill race.
Like a little estuary, wasn't it?
Yeah, it went straight through that.
But you think when they were digging it, excavators, somebody would have taken a bit of time to... but then again...
They must have come across it.
They must have done,
Yeah.
We can actually see the mill now. But before there was this big pile of earth, so we've dug it out, we've had our shovels out and shifted it. And directly there, between them two chimney stacks, you see a bit of a gap. That's where the water came in. So the water came in there on that building there.
Yeah.
The good thing about my video, I can put little arrows and things and point to them rather than try and explain it. So that looks like the mill race.
Yeah.
So what was all this then? This was
These were all the farm buildings, all outbuildings. That was a cow shed. That was a the shed in there. We used to keep calves. There used to be a big muck in here. I remember sat on that step there. I used to eat my lunch that there.
Should have brought some sandwiches with you. Go sit there and eat your lunch. Should have brought me flask.
Yeah, all the feeding bars are still there.
Oh yeah, so this was all for cows, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, troughs.
Old stone slabs for shutters.
Yeah, that's an old
Oh, mill wheel,
mill
yeah.
wheel, isn't it? Well,
2, 3.
You know, I mean, all such as that will be gone forever when they start.
Well, that would I think if the people who bought it, they probably want to try and keep some of it, won't they?
Used to keep doings in here. Used to keep milk cans in here.
Well, I think they'll have it.
Yeah, the Bedford it was.
Yeah. Ah, crikey.
Old chains.
When you stood outside and you look, you think, oh, this must have been the mill part, but it's not. It's obviously.
Look at that. Old chain. Round cow's neck. In there. Bloody hell. I wonder how many times I used that. Up in cow house, I actually got one when I was here. There's a drinking trough.
Yeah.
We had pipe water to it, and it had like a flange on it, and the cow would push the nose in, and it opened the valve, and water would come into the trough. There might still be some up there.
And all that was really been supplied by mill race, wasn't it, for the water?
Yeah, it was at one time until they got pipe water in. That was, way through, that was old toilet. That was the bog, orchard in here. I was trying to kill a chicken in here. I've only been here a few weeks, and Nora said I want a chicken. I want its neck pulling. Well,
right.
I could not pull its bloody neck. This is one of the belts.
Oh, hey, let's get in here.
That's, the mill wheel was inside there, and this was, there's the belts. Look.
Oh yeah.
That's there was stairs up there, but they've gone. So it turned all this lot, and this was where all the milling went on.
Had to be little in them days.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crikey, solid that now. The old belt's still left.
I bet that's not moved since I was here.
But obviously, like you say, it's here.
It was here.
And it's boarded up down there. Maybe when they've come to develop it, we might see
And straight through there.
see a bit more what's going on.
The old stable there, they had 2 horses, 2 big Shire horses. He took me round here, this was all enclosed, walled off, this farmyard. He took me in there into the cow shed, and we walked through and through into the stable. You can still see hay racks. And he took me in there, and there was these 2 bloody great Shire horses up there. And though I'm massive, I was only down here like I'm looking up. And he says, whatever you do, lad, if you come to work for me, if I take you on, he says, you look after these 2 horses, he says, because I love them, he says. Yeah, so that was a stable. It used to be a beautiful farmyard, you know, it's straight down to the beck, and it was the most...
Well, you can see it, can't you? You can see it picturesque. I can understand that woman wanting to buy it. I bet it looks fantastic when it's done. So what do you reckon then? Do you think this should be it last?
Yeah, start desolate now, but a bit it a look and make a good job of whatever they're going to do with it. Going by the plans, it could be very nice. But I don't think I'll get down again. There's no point really, you know.
Would you like to see it when it's been redone?
Well, yeah, it might be worth it. Might be worth a look down. You know, I mean, if these units are for sale, you never know. I might buy one. That would be a turn up for the book, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Before we leave High Mill Farm, we still have a couple of things to mention. This is a memorial dedicated to Kevin Dunwell, who spent most of his working life on the farm. His time there must have been after Terry had left, because Terry was the only, non-family member, employed by the Pickering family in 1963. The new owner of the farm and mill buildings, Carrie Gledhill, has been in touch. She grew up in Harwood-Dale and the new development will be her forever home. The new plans are designed to make the buildings suitable for her family needs and also to bring these derelict structures back to life. Carrie has described herself as a sympathetic and history-living owner. It is really good news to know that she is trying to save and incorporate, where possible, the history of the mill and farm buildings. Despite the farm and mill being Grade 2 listed, they were due to be pulled down and lost forever. So we must take this opportunity to say a big thank you to Carrie for saving an important part of our local history.